How long have you two been in the business for and been married? And how did you meet? How did
We
the
met.
festivals
We met at a fetish party about 3.5 years ago.
Yeah, 3.5 years.
4 years ago.
3.5.
2002, early 2002.
Yeah.
We met.
But he wasn't in the business.
I wasn't in the business.
And he wasn't into fetish, so I think.
Friend of a friend.
A friend of a friend brought him.
I was an artist in my
Past life.
in my civilian life, and she asked me to draw her. And,
For my website.
For her website.
And
I
I hired
came by.
him. Paid him $500.
Yes.
And he cashed it. He didn't even give it back.
You talking about?
No,
You
I'm
put it,
joking.
you put
I
it
am.
in my wallet. I didn't even know. I told her I wouldn't take any money, but she went ahead and paid me anyway. But yeah, we met there. After that, I think we dated. We started dating after that, and for about a year before I actually got into the business.
Yeah.
Because in my business, I get laid off, work for production, have to move on, and there'd be a lot of downtime. So I had to figure another way to make some money. She's like, "I'll do some scenes." I'm like, "Nah, I don't want to do
Man, you
that."
can do it with me.
Finally, I was like, "Okay, I'll do it." Did it for the money. I got into it, and a lot of the directors that we worked for asked me if I started working, if we worked with other people.
Yeah, do you work with other people?
And I was like, we talked about it. I said, "Do you mind if I did that?" She goes, "I don't give a
No.
shit." So we ended up, I started doing that, and the rest is history.
He works more than I do now. He works twice as much as I do a week, probably.
I work too much.
Yeah. Sometimes he wakes up and goes, "I think my penis is going to fall off."
Yeah, I average about 5 or 6 shoots a week. She averaged, what, 2?
Maybe 2.
2 shoots a week, so we don't have a lot of time in our own life, our own marriage, to actually have sex, because I have to save my pops and whatnot.
Yeah, the money shot is the cum shot,
Yeah,
so he has to save it. He
I have
can't
to wait
waste
for a
it on.
day off.
Yeah.
And
Like yesterday.
Yesterday, yes. I actually been working too much this last week. Only worked twice, so I actually got to have
We
sex.
got to have sex at home.
Yeah, it's been going on I've been doing it for, I guess, 2 years?
Yeah.
2.5 years? Something like that.
Are those your wedding rings you guys made?
Yes, they are.
Yeah. Titanium. Bling.
Let's see him again.
Oh.
Let me zoom in.
Titanium, baby.
Why those instead of the traditional generic?
Gold?
Well, he does not like gold. He doesn't like gold, so, and I don't really care.
Yeah.
So.
I thought these looked cool.
He likes titanium. She matches titanium watch.
But yeah, we've been going it for a while, and we're starting our own production, which you was mentioning earlier. So we don't want to be in front of the camera all the all the time. You only have so much life in this. Well, I could probably do this till like 50 if I wanted. I don't want to.
And Peter North is what, 50?
There's guys, to keep yourself in shape, you can do this for a while. I'll probably always do it. I want to get to the point where I can
Dave Hardman.
Bring it down to maybe 1 or 2 shoots a week. So we're going to do our own production.
Yeah.
That's where the money is anyway. So
when you guys were dating, I mean, how did your friends feel about it? I mean, you were dating a porn star.
I had 2 sets of friends that felt differently about it. Some were really cool about it and thought it was awesome. Asked me to bring them to sets and all that kind of stuff, which I've never done. And
no,
the
one time.
Oh yeah, one time. And the others, I had the ones that were single were cool with it. They thought it was awesome. The ones that were in relationships didn't, because they had pressure from their girlfriends that don't want to be hanging out with me.
For some reason.
Because we'd go to some crazy wild parties where there's a lot of freaky shit going on and stuff. I'm like, you can't hang out with him. So I've lost a few friends from it.
I'm sorry.
I don't need them if they have to. I don't want to be with anybody that judges. I mean, a lot of them are like, hey, I don't want to judge what you do, but your relationship isn't very conventional.
Yeah.
It's just a little weird. I'm like, well, it's to each his own. I'm not pressuring any guy to go in and do anything. And I keep telling them, don't come to the party. If you want to come to the party, bring your girlfriend.
Yeah.
If she's cool with it. I said, I don't want to cause any.
We don't want to get in between anybody.
So
it's not that big of a deal.
Well, to us, I mean, like she was saying earlier, it was a big deal at me at the beginning because I wasn't used to it. I didn't understand.
Yeah.
Like I said, when she's going off to work, and we were just dating. At first, I was like, it's cool. I didn't really think it was going to get as serious as it did, but she was a really cool girl and great personality. And I was like, hell. Now I'm sprung on the girl, and she does porn. So I had to learn to accept it. And once I got into it, I realized it's a job.
Okay.
We can just start right back on that once they clear. start back on it's a job.
Okay. So once I got into it, I realized it was really just a job. It's because you have this whole idea when you're not in the business, you're going there and you're just everybody's just it's like a big orgy going on. It's really not. It's people. You go in and you meet the person. I used to try because I was really nervous about it, get to know the girl a little bit, talk to her, and you still should do that. But sometimes I don't care. I want to get in there and it's like, who you working with? So it's like, hey, my name's so and so, Alec Knight. I'll be working with you today. And anything you like, don't like, we just get right into it. You give them a quick peck on the cheek, goodbye. You know, it's not like you sit there making out. Not. Some girls really get into it. They're
Oh no, there are some real nymphos in the business.
yeah.
There are some real nymphos.
Well, and they do great scenes.
Yeah.
You know, but most of them respect the fact they know everybody knows that we're a couple in the business. So I don't really get any
propositions.
Well, some. Not too much though. It's cool. It's flattering, but I was like, nah, I can't do it. So you gotta talk to my wife about it. She's cool with it.
The sisters love him. He's
Who?
got several black girls on his tail.
I don't know what it is. Anyway, but
big girl.
Oh, I'm not gonna say her name.
No.
Anyway. Yeah, it's
Hi.
it's flattering, but at the same time, it's a job. And once I realized that, once I did some of my own scenes, there's really no jealousy issues anymore. So
yeah,
not that I can think of. The only time we get upset about stuff is people we don't like in the business, and I don't like her working with because they're assholes.
Yeah, there's some assholes.
But girls have a no list anyway. They can say, "Oh, you're working with so and so." Like, no, I won't work with them. But you only have a few.
I think.
And there's a lot of guys I know in the business that are cool, and I have no problem with it. So they're good friends of mine. So I don't have no problem with it.
What did your parents think about your relationship?
My parents?
Yeah.
My parents don't know. So if they see this.
Oh, helicopter.
Really?
Helicopters. That's my big spot. It's like no helicopters left.
Sorry.
That's cool.
You're
Okay.
Famous. They all came from you.
I don't think so. Yeah, right. Pornerazzi.
You ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. My parents don't actually know yet. I didn't do what she did and bit the bullet yet because my parents are very conservative. I'm going to cross that bridge when I get to it. And once they find out, and the thing is, it's harder for girls to stay under the radar because they're posted everywhere, box covers, and the camera's on the girl. The camera's really not on the guy so much except for below the waistline. So, I mean, even though they pan up to your face from time to time, it's easier to get by without being noticed as a guy in this business.
And sometimes they don't even give you credits on the box.
Yeah, they rarely give us credit.
Yeah, sometimes.
We're props, and a lot of guys would argue with that, like, oh, we're not props. We do work hard, and you have to be
on your game.
You got to be on your game in this business. There's you got to be able to keep your wood for a couple hours. You got to be able to pop when they tell you to.
You got 10 seconds to pop.
Let
us know when.
But there's guys that sit there and you'll be jerking off for an hour trying to get to the pop after a couple hours of working. So it is a lot of work for the guys. I don't consider them props, but the industry considers guys props because guys don't buy the videos for the guys rarely, unless they just like the way the guy fucks, like a Lex Steele or someone like that, who's just amazingly endowed anyway. So some of these, they get off of watching a guy with a big dick doing that. But guys, for the most part, I consider really props in the business. So, but as far as my parents go, they don't know. I'm sure they will soon, or I don't know when it's going to happen. Maybe I'll get by with it. I don't know. Which is another reason I want to start production anyway. I want to kind of get out in front of the camera. Yeah. But it's always documented. It's always going to be there. I've already done, in 2 years?
Over a couple hundred already. You're at 300, 350,
Maybe, 400. I don't know. So I've done what she's done, half of what she's done in the span of 2 years.
Yeah.
And you in 8.
Yeah.
So, I work a lot. So, and the money's great. That's why I haven't gone back to my other jobs.
Hours are good too.
Hours are good. You have a lot of free time. I mean, most of the time, if it's a gonzo shoot, I can show up on set and the average is 4 hours. I've been on sets. I've been out there in 2 hours. So, boom, you're making. I make about $600 a shoot. So sometimes I'll do 2 a day. So the money, like my old job, was making about $1,000 a week, which is, it's not bad, but
You had
could do
long
that in
hours,
one
but
day.
you had long hours too.
Long hours too. Yeah, I was working like 60 hour a week to
So,
get
yeah.
that $1,000 a week. So this, I'm working a few hours. It's not mentally strenuous. It's pretty much just, you know,
Still lots of fucking.
just a lot of fucking. And you get paid well and you get to go home. We have a lot of free time, so we can do what we want. And that's very tempting. It's hard to get away from it in this business when the money's so easy, which is
Well, it's not easy. It's simple.
simple. Yeah. Well, I think a lot of girls get into the business young. I feel bad for them sometimes, not because I think it's great that they're working, and if they're comfortable with it, it's good, but they don't save their money.
No.
A lot of them. Some do. Some of them save their money to go to college and have something positive out of it. A lot of girls
Buy a
stick with
house.
it, and they just think that money's going to keep coming, because girls make twice as much as I do in a shoot. And if they work a lot of them work 5 or 6 days a week. You know, they're working every day, so they're bringing around $5,000 a week. You know, sometimes more, and they're buying the big cars, the Prada bags.
Yeah.
You know, some are into drugs, and it's a vicious cycle where they're working to buy the drugs to make the money to keep working. It's pretty sad that way. I give the girls advice at 18. I always tell them, like, keep your money, save
Pace
it,
yourself and pace
get a goal
yourself.
outside of the business, because you can only do this for so long. And
Yeah,
again,
really.
girls can, like you said, you get shot out in a couple of years.
Yeah.
If they work a lot.
3 years,
And
really.
guys, it doesn't
We've shot
matter.
with everybody.
Once a girl works for one line, she might be able to do it twice. That's it.
Maybe.
And there's only so many lines out there unless they start a new one up. I can work for the same line every week, every time they shoot it.
You can be in 2 or 3 scenes in one movie.
In one movie. So
Yeah.
guys have more longevity.
Yeah.
We make less, but we make
Make it up in frequency.
I tell the girls, get in there, get your money, save, start your own production, get your website done, save your money for if you're going to go to college, buy a house, main thing.
Yeah.
You know, if you can get the money and get yourself out, if the money you're making, you can buy a house within a couple of years, pay it off, and you're a 20-year-old with a house.
Yeah.
How many people can say that?
There's lots of people like that. Nautica Thorne just bought her
Mhm.
house. Lots of people.
So, you know, I
20.
tell them to save their money. But, yeah.
One last thing, just give us one good quality about her and give one good quality about him.
Good quality. She got a lot of them. I think one of the best things is honesty, which is really important in our relationship. I told her when we first started out, it's like, it's not even so much cheating to me in this business as far as being honest about it. To me, cheating is lying about something, you know?
Yeah.
If she really wanted to have sex with somebody, that's never came up, but if you really want to have sex with somebody,
Yeah,
let
lots
me
of
know.
sex all the time.
Don't let me find out from somebody else.
Yeah.
Because then I'd be pissed off. That's being devious, and that's, you know. And she's very honest, which I love about her, and just a good-hearted.
Sometimes
person.
too honest.
Sometimes too honest. She doesn't have a inner monologue. Sometimes just bleh, diarrhea of the mouth. I'm like,
Did I
why'd
say
you
that out
say
loud?
that?
Oops.
She
Sorry.
goes, what? That was wrong? I'm like, oh, you know, it's a little, you know. And sometimes, like, you got to remember, we're out in the real world too. Sometimes she's just, bleh, you know, about sexual stuff. I'm like, in public, I'm like, you gotta keep that quiet. But that's part of her honesty, so that's what I like about her. But she's a very kind-hearted person. I don't think she's ever done anything underhanded or wrong to anybody. So I really appreciate that about her. So.
Oh, thank you. What I love about him is that he's trustworthy, absolutely trustworthy. I never have to worry about him screwing me over or taking my money or running around with somebody else without telling me. Yeah, he's very trustworthy.
You don't really need to in this business.
No,
either.
I don't. No, he's oversexed anyway, so I'm not worried about cheating. That's
I don't
one
wanna
positive
sex
thing
her.
about the porn business. You don't have to worry about anybody cheating. You're
Well,
not gonna go
some.
on a sexual romp or something. It's
That's cool. Thank you very much.
Okay.
That was
Thank
good.
you.
That's good.
Yeah.